Muscle strains in the neck are very common in elite athletes. It's been theorized that strains happen at night when an athlete is completely relaxed because they're training so hard, and then they have some sort of jerk or movement at night when they're sleeping, or they just sleep on their neck a little weird, or they get the workout and they're just feeling a little bit off. This is often why swimmers or other high-level athletes frequently report having, kinks in the neck or strains in the neck, things like that. From my experience working with this condition, it's usually just some tightness in a few muscles, that these muscles get a little tight. Like I said, you're really relaxed during the night, you're overtrained, so your body just wants some time to recover, and then you somehow, have some sort of twitch at night, or you just sleep on it weird, and you wake up with some strain, some tightness, a little bit of a kink in the side of the neck. This is typically, like I was saying, from my experience, a strain to the scalene musculature. For the scalenes, there are three anterior, middle, and posterior scalene muscles. They lie right here on the side of the neck, and are very easy to kind of do a self-myofascial release by yourself. Okay, so first, before you do any sort of manual therapy or work either on yourself or with a patient or a client, you want to do the activity that strains the motion, so you can have your comparable sign or something that you can test and retest. So oftentimes for the scalene muscle, when you bend your head to the side or even rotate or even do some flexion and extension, you can feel some of that tightness or some of the strain in the neck. Okay, next, what you're going to be doing is just taking your two fingers here and putting it right on the base of the skull. Okay, so if we rotate our head to the neck, we find this big SCM or sternocleidomastoid muscle that just pops up. So you're going to follow that muscle all the way up, and instead of coming diagonally across the neck and attaching to the collarbone or clavicle, you're just going to go behind it and just slide straight down. See if you can see me here. So I'm just working kind of where that SCM attaches just to the occiput of the skull, a little behind it. Then I just look forward in a neutral position, applying a firm pressure, making my way down. Okay, as I start moving down here, I start slowing down. I'm finding some gnarly stuff even on my neck. Maybe I've just been doing a little too much office work here, too much billing insurance, always fun stuff. And that's just, gonna cause some tightness, some trigger points, or just some bound up fascia in the mix. So I'm just slowly moving down, taking my time. Once I find the area of most tenderness, I go ahead and just stop on it, hold for about 30 seconds to a minute. And for this whole myofascial release, you can play around a little. You can go a little bit more behind it. Just make sure you're applying a firm pressure, keeping the principles of fascial releases in mind. The more tender this area is, the slower you need to go. Once you kind of find that spot, just sink in, relax, but make sure it's not straining you too much. Okay, I often do this in sitting or in just a position where you can be relaxed, applying once again this firm pressure. And I was only really working at the top here, but you can also go all the way down as these muscles attach nice and deep at the base of the neck here. So once again, you can spend about 3-5 minutes on this in total, taking your time, slowly working on some of these points just with your own hand. And then once again, just test at the beginning, do your treatment, and retest. Make sure that's helping out. But oftentimes when people have little kinks, strains in the neck, just some simple myofascial release onto the scalenes can do the trick.